Give me a minute and let's talk about some of the training that's happening here in Ukraine for both Ukrainian soldiers and civilians that are interested in being prepared should they be drafted or being prepared should the fighting come to where they live, as it so often does here in Ukraine. Now, what you're looking at behind me here is what they call Unalive House. Well, they don't call it that. I have to call it that because we're on TikTok, right? And it's basically a maze of tires set up to simulate the operations involved in cleaning, going into a house, making sure there's no resistance hidden in the closets, in the toilets, waiting to unalive you. Plus, they're trained on booby traps. So you can simulate booby traps, tripwires, everything that the soldier is likely to encounter in the field in a number of ways. When you enter the maze, around every corner, there are targets. Man with a gun, insurgent back here, or occupying force back here, etc. Some of the targets might remind you of somebody. But you can see this is all very haphazard, all improvised, using whatever materials are available. Pieces of cardboard, standard targets that you'd buy at any sporting goods store, homemade targets, personalized for your attention. The ground is littered with half a dozen different kinds of brass, pumpkin balls, shotgun shells. It's extraordinary. And it goes to the point that the Ukrainians are fighting with whatever they can get their hands on. A lot of the weapons that were on the range today were personal weapons, not Army issue. The Army issue AKs, the one that I fired, was built in 1986. It had a manufacture date of 1986 on it. And it's in rough shape. I shouldn't say rough shape. It's been well used, that's for sure. It's not unlikely that it was in the Afghan campaign, made for that campaign and saw action in Afghanistan, in the Chechen wars, who knows what else. And the diversity of shells goes to the point that supply is a problem, right? If everybody's using different ammo, that's a problem. Now, sure, you need different weapons for different tasks, but it seems to me that that's not what I'm seeing. It seems to me that what we're seeing is an almost militia-type force using private weapons, using whatever they can get their hands on in order to defend their homes from the aggression of their neighbors. And the fact that they do this kind of thing is evidence of the will of the Ukrainian people to remain free and independent, and they will not bend to Moscow's will or their terror campaigns of drones and bombing. That was very much in evidence today.